beauties, welcome back to another Caramel Curls 15 video. Today we are going to be talking about the long-awaited release and first impressions of the Pat McGrath Celestial eyeshadow palette. There is an entire collection, but I did not buy the entire collection because I don't need it. I have enough blushes and highlighters and things of that sort. Maybe at a later time I'll partake in those items. But as of right now, we are just going to talk about and review the actual eyeshadow palette. I just got mine in the mail today, and I was supposed to film a different video today, but we're going to film this particular video today, the review of the Celestial palette, and then I'll catch up on the video I was going to film today, maybe tomorrow or Sunday. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this video. So first impressions is it's the normal, very creative and artistic cardboard packaging, the outer box here. The product mimics, or this eyeshadow palette mimics, the holiday release from Pat McGrath last year in 2021 holiday season. I had plenty of opportunity to get that palette, but I did not, and now I regret it, right? But that's okay. I have enough palettes, so we're just gonna pick up with this one. It's the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership Mega Celestial Nirvana palette. So I've already prepped my eyes. I did my brows and prepped my eyes off camera. And I love that you can create some very colorful looks with this palette. I am surprised that these kind of shades and this color scheme was released like right before the holidays. I was sort of wanting more of a fall winter eyeshadow palette, but Pat McGrath is known for her very vibrant eyeshadows and very artistic eyeshadows. So I'm definitely not surprised that it's this kind of color scheme layout. So the formula. So I am noticing as I read the back of the box that every eyeshadow has talc in it. Now talc can be a little bit irritating, especially for my sensitive eyes, but every eyeshadow shade has talc in it. The name of the eyeshadow shades are not on the palette. This palette retails for $82. It was released on September 23rd. I got mine today, September 30th, which is pretty fast shipping for Pat McGrath. Her shipping is known to take 2 to 3 weeks, so I was surprised that I got it so quickly. The name of the eyeshadows are not on the palette, so let me tell them to you. Again, this is the color scheme. The palette has 18 different shades. So the Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana palette has 18 shades. And get into testing the palette. So let's go ahead and zoom you guys in. I know, right? You guys are really, really close. Don't mind this little thing I have laying down my edges. I'm going to take that off before we're officially done with the video. So I don't know or don't have an idea what kind of look I want to create today, but let's do a little bit of a basic everyday look, because the palette is so expensive. If you do decide to partake in the palette, I want my everyday beauty to be able to make a quick eyeshadow look. So I'm going to be using my Morphe E15 brush. I'm also going to be using my BH Cosmetics V5 brush. This brush is super old. I still have this video uploaded. I bought these brushes 2-3 years ago, and they still work well for me, honey. I'm going to be using the Morphe M504 brush. The Morphe, I don't know what brush this one is, but it's the gold brush, gold line from Morphe. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of detailing, so let me pull out those brushes. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. blending eye brush, the Morphe M431 brush. So far, we may use more brushes depending on what other look we're going to create. I'm going to go in with my lid shade first, and I'm going to go in with the shade. Let me pull up my phone because they're not on here. So I'm going to tell you what shade I'm going to be using. Desert Definity is what I'm going to go in with on my lid. And that's like that taupe, it's like that taupe nude light brown color here. So we're going to go in on our lid with that. Well, actually, let's see. we're going to use that as a transition shade. So let's go in on our lid with the first shade in the palette, which is Nightfall. So Nightfall is this like deep brown. Let's go in with that shade and see what we do. I don't have a particular look I'm going for again. And we're going to use the mirror of the palette. Nice size mirror, very clear mirror. It does look like it's a little magnified, which is good because when you want to get a good eye look, you want to get magnified. You want to get that crisp look so you can see all the crevices of your skin to make sure it's blended well and there's no harsh demarcation in your eyeshadow. So let's go ahead with the shade Nightfall on the lid. And it's very easy to apply. As you can see, it came off very pigmented. I do feel like it's a little fallout. Is just what I can feel to the eye. And we're just going to blend that up. Build that up. We're just going to build that up. All right, there we go. So now we're going to go in with the Morphe M504 brush, and we're going to go into that taupe shade I was originally telling you guys about, which is the shade Desert Definity. So we're going to go into the crease with that, and I'm just going to tap it and tap off the excess so we can blend out the harsh line of that lid color. And it's blending out really well. Yeah, it blended out really well so far. Just gonna put a little bit more. So I want a really diffused look. Now I do notice that eyeshadows with a lot of talc in them don't blend out as well. So it's not lightening up the crease as I would like. Seems like it's deepening it up a little bit more, but it is still blending out well. So now that we have that, I want to use the shade that's next to Divine Definity, and that is Bronze Infatuation. I would like to use that on the lid as well. So let's see. I'm going in without spraying my brush. And it is more of a glitter shade, and I am tapping. So I want a different look. So I'm going to go ahead and spray it with some Fix Plus, and I just sprayed it on my mirror. So let's see here. And I know some shades you can apply with your finger, but I hate applying makeup with my finger. See, it's coming across a little better, but it's more glittery than metallic. Yeah, because the glitter is getting everywhere. I will have to say, like, first impressions, I do like the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, recent release palettes a lot more than this Pat McGrath palette. Because it more fits the everyday beauty. This one you have to work with a little bit. And sometimes you don't have that kind of time. So, not liking this look so far. Let's go in with the shade. Let's see what it's called. The shade Flame Fatale, and see what that does for us. And we're going in with that BH Cosmetics vegan brush. We're just going to put it in our outer V area. And see what that does. I'm going to put it a little bit in the crease. Yeah, it's not giving me the look I was going for, but I really didn't have a designated look either. So right now I'm just blending to see how effortlessly the shades blend. Which you do have to work with these shadows. Alright, so that's what we have so far. Let me zoom you guys in some more. So that's what we have so far. Honestly, not a fan of the formulas. But I'm going to take previous brush and make sure I blend any harsh lines out. And I'm just taking that brow bone highlight shade down a little bit to see if that would help alter the look a little better. And I'll tell you what this shade is in just one sec. Alright, so the name of that shade was Golden Angelica. And now I'm about to go in with the shade Auburn Allure and deepen up my outer V. And I'm going to be using the e.l.f. blending eye brush. So I'm not liking this look, but this is the look we have so far. I'm going to grab another brush, and since I don't really have a transition shade in that palette, I have my ColourPop palette close to me, and this is the Cream Soda quad. And I'm going to use that to lighten up right here where my eye is. To the inner tear duct of my eye. Top shade. And see how pigmented that ColourPop one is? I wish the Pat McGrath palette was like that. It's not even that easy to blend. So this is what we have created so far. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, come back, and possibly do the under eye, and then give you guys final thoughts on my first impressions of this palette. Hey guys, so I finished my makeup look, the rest of my makeup look off camera, and let's go ahead and get into a more thorough first impressions review of the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership Mega Celestial Nirvana palette. And I have to say, I don't like this palette. First impressions is very talky. It didn't blend well. You have to, some shades got a lot of pigment, some shades didn't. I wet my brush. I use a different brush. I use my finger, even off camera. And for the amount of money of this palette, for the cost of this palette, it's a thumbs down for me. I did also notice that on the back of the palette, it does have the shades of each eyeshadow, but for the price, it should be on the actual palette. And I know this is like an affordable palette for Pat McGrath, but still, for 80 something odd buck eyeshadow palette, it should still have the names of the shadows within the palette. You shouldn't have to look on the back and switch and see what shade you're using. So this is not for the everyday beauty. I review makeup products for the everyday beauty, the everyday woman, not just if you're a model or if you're just going to a photo shoot or you're doing bridal makeup or event makeup. I review products for the everyday beauty because sometimes you see the models, you see people that do photo shoots and things of that nature, and you want your makeup or your look or outfit to look like that, and I feel like you should be able to have that. And just for $83 or 80 something odd bucks, I don't think this palette is worth it. I am very disappointed in the shadow pigmentation of this palette, the blendability. I don't like that it has a lot of talc in the eyeshadows, because most brands now are making eyeshadows without talc, and then they're using a better alternative, a healthier alternative, and I just feel like for the price it shouldn't have talc in it. If you were on the fence if you should get this palette or the ABH, the two new release ABH palettes, the Nouveau palette or the Rose palette, I will go with those, because you can dang near get both of those palettes for the price of this one. And there's a coupon for ABH right now for 15% off. So you can get both of those palettes for the price of this one. I love those palettes much more. I would definitely get more use out of those palettes than this palette. I'm going to try it a few more times with this Pat McGrath new Celestial Nirvana palette. And I'm going to try about 3 more times. If it doesn't still work, I'm just going to put it up for sale on my Poshmark. But I'm very disappointed. I don't like the color scheme. Looking at it in person, it doesn't wow me. It's nothing that makes me gravitate toward this palette, makes me want to use this palette. And I'm just really disappointed in this palette, how it performs, the actual in-person layout for the price point. So it's a thumbs down for me. So I would not recommend this Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana palette. This is the look I created. I was having some trouble. My eyes got very irritated because of the talc. And then I used this Patrick Ta mascara, and I forgot that this mascara also doesn't agree with me. I love how it pulls out your lashes, but the formula is something in the formula that irritates my eyes. So I tried putting on lashes to give a more dramatic look, but it just wasn't working out. I had to redo my under eye concealer and all that stuff and reset it. So I wasn't able to show you guys what the look looks like with lashes, but I'm going to do a different look, and we'll do like a try to get ready with me and see how it performs. But unfortunately, this is a no-go for me for this palette. I hope that you guys like this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see all you beauties in the next Caramel Curls 15 video.